Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. We have a lot of stuff going on right now in the U.S. A lot of lies, a lot of misdirection. It's coming from, the evil empire that basically is controlling America and the world. So there were a lot of protests all over the world yesterday. I think we're going to see a lot more of that kicking up going forward. People are pretty tired of all the BS, all of the lies and misdirection. I'm going to show you a lot of what that's about. So we have looked at COVID. We have dissected it. From my understanding, there are no pictures of COVID. It's almost like a friend shared where, now that we know CGI, remember those planes that crashed into buildings? Well, if a plane would have crashed into the building, we would have seen metal falling from it, but the plane just disappeared into the building. And then something blew up on the other side, right? Completely went away. It's almost like this COVID. This COVID is something that has, been made up. It's not real. They put out these little pictures of what the COVID looks like, but there's no real pictures. That's right. There's no real pictures of COVID out there, from my understanding. Now, it could be incorrect. I've done my own research. Maybe some of you can do the research and find pictures of COVID. Show me the pictures. I'd be happy to see them. So, is it a bioweapon? It is a bioweapon, but where are the pictures? Where are the pictures of this bioweapon? Someone owns the rights to this bioweapon. So how can you own a right to something that's naturally occurring? All right. So Bill Gates owns the rights to COVID. So how is that possible if it's naturally occurring? That'd be like saying, I own the corn. So if you have a seed, a corn seed, it's mine and you need to pay me. So that's what Monsanto has been trying to do. They've been trying to basically make their own species and then infiltrate it out there into farm fields, even into farm fields where farmers are growing naturally occurring, plants. And when they have one of these foreign seeds come in and start to grow, Monsanto comes in with their lawyers like, look, you have, our legal, you've been taking our rights, you've been taking our product and growing it in your fields. You either start to grow our product all in your field, or we're going to take over your farm, and the lawyers come in and do that kind of stuff. It's crazy. That's what they're doing. So we have to stop that. So what else do they do? Well, there's things that are manufactured that are given out. Now, Fort Detrick in Maryland manufactured anthrax. Some of that anthrax supposedly escaped from their lab, and they infected people back during 2001, right after 9/11 happened, and they tried to blame it on Iraq and Al-Qaeda. So that kind of fell away. You know who was involved in the investigation? That's right, Robert Mueller. So these lies, these people that are basically put up to do these lies and continue these lies and manipulate and kill innocent people all over the world with their little games, it's coming to a head now. So let me share the screen. I'm going to share the screen and give you guys my insights. So as a SEAL, a Navy SEAL Team 6, and then later I was part of the CIA looking for terrorists and biological and nuclear weapons. So I just continued the stuff that I've been doing in the SEAL teams into the CIA. I get to travel all over the world in the combat zones everywhere, places that I hadn't been able to go as a Navy SEAL. I was able to go in the CIA and see things and see a lot of things and study and be observant and know that these things that they have been doing are part of their game. And then they have people that go out like me, other military members, other people that are good in the CIA and the FBI that are good. Those numbers are dwindling, unfortunately. So they use us as a prop, like as investigators going after bad people. And some of the people that I was involved with were bad people that were part of those investigations. And we started to see that they were keeping these games going. So evidence points to COVID-19 leaking from experiments on an antidote for their bioweapon. So taxpayer funds actually went to the Wuhan lab to study this bioweapon, this particular bioweapon, which came from Fort Detrick and went to Wuhan and was supported by Fauci. So all of these people have been involved in this game for a while. So remember who did investigations on Trump? Mueller. So it's just this same game, these same people that come in and keep things running, guys. So once you start to understand that, you can say no. But if you look at the mainstream media, because like they say right here, despite mainstream media's attempts to hide the truth, information has been leaking out for weeks that the most likely scenario regarding the origins of COVID-19 paints the Chinese Communist Party in an extremely negative light. I've been saying this all the way back in January of last year. So now we're finally getting this. Come on. All right. So we need to start listening to people like me that have the background and have the abilities to remote view, use their intuition and tap into stuff. Guys, probably listening to this right now going, Mike, I knew this all along too. And I've talked to a lot of you guys. So it's pretty fun that we're like, waking up and we're not allowing these guys to like fool us. So this is, the military had like games going on there in Wuhan about the time frame where this was being released. So we know that military has been used to transport viruses and diseases for a long time, all the way back into, we go back to Roman times. They used bioweapons against the Indians. They gave them blankets that were laced with, polio, not polio, but like I don't know, maybe it was even anthrax, but even back then, but they were using, I think polio, might have been some kind of bioweapon they were using. They laced the blankets with this bioweapon and gave them to Indians and killed off, the Indians massively. So bioweapons have been used for a long time. World War I, remember Spanish flu, vaccinations were given to American soldiers and it spread. So this is not new. It's not new that they have been using, military and so forth, not only for, taking down other countries, but also, using military for guinea pigs. They did studies after World War II when they dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. They actually dropped atomic bombs in deserts of Nevada and then helicoptered in troops to study the effects. And then, 50 years later, they go, oh, we made a mistake after pretty much everybody's dead. They have, done that. In Tuskegee, they basically infected blacks with syphilis and studied the effects of that. They did the same thing in Guatemala. They injected people with syphilis and studied the effects of syphilis over populations. Hillary Clinton, of all people, apologized for that. It wasn't until I think maybe 10, 15 years ago that they admitted that the Tuskegee, Alabama, where they infected blacks with syphilis, they admitted to that. So these things go on, guys. These things have been going on for a long time. So there's a history of this. And if we do our research, we can find this information out. So for instance, the closure of the largest biological and chemical weapons base in the United States. U.S. experts expect the government a thorough investigation into its relationship with COVID-19. Wow. So this is September 2020, just before Trump left. So he closed down this evil operation before he left. So this is in Maryland, United States Army, Fort Detrick. They've been doing bad things there for a very long time. To begin with, it would seem unlikely, even to those fond of imagining the worst case scenario, that the disease was deliberately unleashed by the Chinese authorities in such a way that the prime initial victims would be Chinese nationals. So, you know, really, we're all like guinea pigs to them. They do whatever they want with us. They think they're gods. These guys, these evil Luciferians have to be taken out. The situation of COVID-19 in America is growing more serious as the danger recedes in China. So this is back in August of 2020. And the darkest experiment center of the US government, 𝙒𝙤𝙬, who was in charge of these evil experiments? Who was heading them up? I would say that it would be the CIA, because that's what they admitted to. So anthrax, other pathogens lost at 𝙒𝙤𝙬 in the 1990s. 1990s, huh? And then what happened in 2001? Anthrax attacks after 9/11. So these anthrax attacks, you know, at first they were trying to blame it. Let's see who was doing the blaming. Al-Qaeda in Iraq blamed for the attacks. White House officials pressured White House officials pressured FBI Director Robert Mueller to publicly blame them on Al-Qaeda following the September 11th attacks. During the president's morning intelligence briefings, Mueller was beaten up, verbally beaten up, I guess, for not producing proof that the killer spores were the handiwork of Osama bin Laden. So a few days later, John McCain, yeah, who still likes John McCain? Who still thinks John McCain was a good guy? Please. A few days later, John McCain suggested on The Late Show with David Letterman that the anthrax may have come from Iraq. How did you know that, John? Because your buddies in the deep state told you to say that. You POS. All right. So John Boy's gone. He was executed, and that's what needed to happen with him. Now, the secret history of 𝙒𝙤𝙬. The CIA is based for mind control experiments. So not only do, you know, biological weapons, but they also come in and do mind control experiments. So this place is totally evil. I mean, they probably should shut the whole base down and just like bulldoze it. And of course, they need to go underground and get all the dumbs that are under that thing too. In 1954, a prison doctor in Kentucky isolated 7 black inmates. Why is it, you know, they go after the blacks? So, and fed them double, triple, and quadruple doses of LSD for 77 days straight because they see them as subhuman guys. Democrats don't care about blacks, right? No one knows what became of the victims. They may have died without knowing they were part of the CIA's highly secretive program to develop ways to mind control, a program based out of a little-known Army base with a dark past, 𝙒𝙤𝙬. All right, suburban sprawl has engulfed 𝙒𝙤𝙬, an Army base 50 miles from Washington. So very close proximity to 𝙒𝙤𝙬. So it wouldn't have, you know, been a big stretch for them to, like, you know, carry over some anthrax and, you know, letters like they did and so forth. So that's probably what happened. Now, if we go back in time, we see lots of secret information about 𝙒𝙤𝙬 and its relationship to the CIA. I have seen lots of stuff that's very negative about the CIA when I was working for the CIA. Like I said, there's good people in the CIA and there's very evil people in the CIA. CIA needs to be basically, you know, cleaned away. Same with FBI. They're full of evil people. CBP admits release of migrant families without court date, downplays as normal. Downplays as normal. So you're basically taking migrant families, just release them into the population with no court date, no accountability, nothing, and that's normal. All right, let's go back in time. Let's find somebody that can give us, you know, some kind of idea what this is about. The official confirmed they're releasing some migrant families without issuing a court date, but claim there is no change in policy. Oh, Well, let's check on retired Agent Clark responded to the statement saying, this is completely unprecedented. Basically, that's bullshit. Never in my 32 years as a Border Patrol agent have we had a policy to release migrants without issuing a court date and notice to appear. So the lies, the damn lies, and lies, whatever, you know. So it's like, you know, we have to be aware of what's going on. So the migrants at the border, Project Veritas, love these guys. These guys are exposing these guys.
I'm on the ground in Donna, Texas. If you want to take a look at this facility right here to your left, that is the Border Patrol tent facility, stands right behind me. Just a month ago, Customs and Border Patrol agents completed the construction of that facility. It's 165.
So I love their, what they stand for, Project Veritas. Be brave, do something. So here's Mike doing something, losing YouTube channels, you know, keeping the ball rolling and educating all you beautiful big brain people, you lions out there. There's no sheep in my groups. So you lions out there, I can hear you roar right now. You're roaring, aren't you? You're pissed. That's the way we got to get. We got to stop this bullshit.
1,000 square foot facility, and we have never seen images inside this facility before. They won't even allow the nonprofit lawyers who conduct the actual oversight of these immigration detention centers to go inside. Nobody has seen photos inside of this place until now. Project Veritas has obtained never before seen photos.
Okay, so where did these come from? Was there a warrant put out to get these videos or pictures taken? No. There was, maybe there's somebody good in the Democrat Party, because the Democrats toured this and somebody within that Democrat Party released these images, and that's starting to come out now. So they're saying never before seen images of Donna, Texas immigration facility.
Of what it actually looks.
I mean, look at that. Look how packed they are in there. These are children. These are children that have been basically you know, trafficked into America. Lots of money was paid. Who is paying this money? To these coyotes that are bringing these children in. Now, these children on the other end belong to families. So like you saw in that picture that I just put out, some of these families are being reunited. So they send a kid in. They're like, you know, okay, wait for it. Okay, here's a family. We found a family. Oh, we found a family. Who's finding these families? And then the family comes across the border, reunited with their children, and then they're sent into the population to vote for Democrats. That's what this is all about.
Like inside this facility, shocking images showing people wrapped up in what looks like metal foil, laying on the ground, their faces covered. Why won't the administration be honest about this? Why won't they show you these images? We have a man who's telling us to leave. Where would the press?
Oh man, you gotta get off.
You got to get off your own private, look at this, private property. That's not government property. That's not a government facility. That is a private corporation. Just like all our prison systems are private corporations now that's running this. See, this is all for profit all around. And Joey just sent a bunch of money down here, millions upon millions of dollars to support this. To support what? To support his buddies that are bringing these illegals in that are going to vote Democrat and lower the rate that they have to pay people. They're basically making more slaves, guys, right? More slaves, more voters. It's just a process that they're creating right now. This is evil beyond evil. As you're seeing it right here, they're using children in these facilities to gain money for their cronies, and also eventually to make sure they're never out of power ever again.
They told us it's private property, but you know what isn't private property? Airspace. We're going to fly this Cirrus right over the top of the detention center to get a better look. Airspace is not private property, so we're flying 1,000 feet. There's the facility right there. You can see it. There it is. We're flying over the facility to give you a good vantage point. There are the tents. You see a bus right over there.
So this facility was just put together. You know, I'm sure they spent a lot of money put it together very quickly. They know they have limited time. They're trying to like really ramrod this. So think about it. 2,000, they're saying like at least 2,000 are coming across the border every day now. That's more than usually happens in a month. So every day, 2,000. All right, so 10 days, 20,000. 20 days, 40,000. 60,000. And then they get dispersed with families. They get dispersed with families. So that's, you know, double that number again, or triple that number, or quadruple that number, because who knows how big that family is who's coming in. So 2 of those family members are going to start to vote. And if you put, you know, all those numbers, you're getting close to 1 million a year. You're putting all those families into key population areas where you want that vote to make sure that vote is going to be your vote going forward. That's what they're doing. So some of these votes just hang by, you know, 20, 30, 100,000. So they'll put 200,000 in there, right? And then boom, they got it. And they'll, okay, where else do we need to put people? We need 400,000 down there. All right, let's keep pumping them in there. We got a couple of years now. We got to keep pumping them in there. Where else? Let's go to Arkansas. Yeah, there's how many lose by there? All right, let's pump those numbers in there. This is how this is working, guys.
Now, during a recent press conference, the press secretary was asked a question why they haven't released these images.
Even you all haven't released any images that you obviously could redact if you wanted to.
Again, we remain committed to sharing with all of you data.
Oh my God, this woman is horrifically evil.
On the number of kids crossing
She dodged the question, saying, quote,
and we remain committed to transparency. I don't have an update for you on.
And what is it with this sign language? This is a Democrat thing. They all have to sign language. What are they really signing there? What's going on there? Evil. I guarantee you, like making evil signs there. It's like, yeah, how many people are deaf or blind or whatever? This is for deaf people, right? How many people are deaf in America? Like less than 1%? Come on. So you got less than 1%. Less than 1% of people die from COVID. You got less than 1% of people need to have, you know, someone sign for them. It's insane. Please, let's stop this insanity.
Timeline, end quote. Well, press secretary of the White House, let Project Veritas do your job for you. Just last night, we have now obtained these photos inside this facility. Now, these photos are very, very grim. In addition to the photos, Project Veritas has also learned that these photographs were taken in the last few days. There are 8 pods with 8 cells in each facility. At any given moment, there are an average of 3,000 people in custody inside this detention center. Now, the pod has 8 cells that are currently holding 600, that's 600 unaccompanied juvenile males aged 7 to 17. They're separated by age or physical size, depending on the room. 50 of the individuals inside this facility were.
So within this facility also, there's sexual molestation going on. There's beatings going on. There's like gangs in these guys. They're bringing over gang members that are going to help them, you know, push this stuff through. There's also people that have COVID. So you, just like we see in you know, the facilities where people go, you know, for elders, you put like one person in there that's COVID, and you're basically going to kill a lot of people. Now these are young people. They're probably way less than 1%, you know, even affected by it, and probably way less than 1% are going to get sick by it, and then less than 1% of that is going to die from it. So they know that, but they just, you know, they don't care. So yeah, they get COVID. Oh well, you know, they'll be okay. So they know that.
COVID positive in these cells. There have been multiple sexual assaults inside this facility, normal assaults, and daily medical emergencies. This border crisis does not appear to be slowing down. In fact, We've just obtained new leaked documents as well from another insider, this one inside the Department of Homeland Security. It says the document was prepared by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Office of Intelligence. It warns of a potential Central American-based caravan coming our way in less than 2 weeks on March 30th. It says, quote, in the days leading up to March 30th, and should a caravan form, CBP personnel in the region will work closely with and maintain constant communications with CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. Now, every car that drives by is beeping at us. A lot of people giving us the middle finger here. A lot of people are not happy that we are filming or we are recording or asking questions about this facility.
Be brave, do something. Don't do stupid though. So these people are coming by. He's trying to report on, a problem here, and they have their minions out there that are basically, making cover for them, harassing them while they're trying to inform the American people.
Not only did our DHS, that's Department of Homeland Security insider, leak us these documents, the insider also secretly recorded in a private DHS Q&A session, Alejandro Mayorkas commenting on what he thinks is happening at the border. And you can hear this quote from Alejandro talking about the new administration making a decision not to expel unaccompanied children.
The new administration made a decision not to expel unaccompanied children. And we are addressing a significant increase in the encounters with unaccompanied children in between the ports of entry.
Here's a Customs and Border Patrol van. These are minors aged 7 to 17 inside the van. He's waving at us right now. The people that are being accompanied in this facility, according to what Project Veritas has learned, between the ages of 7 and 17, males, 600 unaccompanied juveniles.
Now, as you guys know, unfortunately, some of these children will never be reunited with their parents because they came over thinking that they were just going to get in America and it's going to be a good deal for them. So they will disappear into a very dark system. We all know that child trafficking is happening for evil, very nefarious purposes, right? For pedophiles and for other activities.
As you can see, we're on the corner of South International and Rio Grande Street, just south of Donna, Texas, north of the Mexican border. We were just there at the bridge. We really appreciate the brave insider who worked with us on this story. The public has a right to know that we're going to create an army of whistleblowers and insiders. You can reach out to us at Veritas Tips. That's VERITAS tips at protonmail.com. Some extraordinary images here. The security guard is telling us to leave. Pissed. He's so pissed. They know we're here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, 𝙭𝙗, Project Veritas. So what else do we have? We have Trump to return to social media on his own platform. We're waiting for that one, right? So millions of people, I'm sure, will be joining this platform with him. I will definitely be one of them. And that's looking forward to that. After getting bumped off of YouTube, being shut down on YouTube over and over again, the Nazi system basically is coming after those of us that are truth tellers. Who knows how much longer I'll have, this platform, but I will keep working as long as I can. I'm working to build my own website. It should be done very shortly. And of course, you can go to 𝙒𝙤𝙤 and tap into my courses, my books, and so forth. And I look forward to sharing more information with you guys, especially when my website comes out. Hopefully, I'll be able to do these videos and never have them go away again. Lots of love out there, and stay in that love vibration. That love vibration gives the intuitive abilities to tap into this vast network of negativity they're trying to enslave us into. And once we understand that, once we see that, we break those chains. Lots of love.